Welcome to Space World. Let's go.
Hey, it's me, Hyperness, and today I want to take a deep dive into WayForward's little series called Mighty Switch Force. Why have I decided to make a video on this? I don't know. I noticed it hasn't really got anything in a while, so I just thought yeah, sure, why not? This game is part of WayForward's Mighty series, the first one in the series being Mighty Flip Champ, being a puzzle platform hybrid, where you need to flip the screen from top to bottom to reach the exit. This is only for the DSi, and it also got released for the PSP. The second game being Mighty Milky Way, for the DSi, an action puzzle game where you play as Luna, and you simply need to get to the portal by jumping around in little planets with their own gravity. This is only for the DSi, and since the 3DS shop is down, there's no way to obtain this game. Well, you can't get it legally anyways. And the third game being Mighty Switch Force, and that's the one we'll be focusing on, as it's the only one in the series to receive sequels. The first Mighty Switch Force game released in 2011 for the 3DS. The story is very simple. You play as Patricia Wagon, and your job is to bring the Hooligan sisters to justice. Patty, go get her. Patty, she's right there. Patty. You have a gun, Patty. Whatever. This is your typical run-and-gun 2D platformer, with the ability to switch blocks for platforming, but mostly to solve simple puzzles. You can also use it to smash enemies, and there's some levels where you need to use the enemies to make progression. Like with these turtle robots, they can't be defeated with your gun, but you can smash them with the blocks, and they're often used to open up gates. And be careful, because you can also get hit by the blocks too. That's a face of defeat right there. There's also these bomb guys used to blow up rocks. To beat these levels, you just need to grab the 5 Hooligan sisters. Once you do that, Corporal Gen Armor will appear, and you go up to him to beat the level. Pretty straightforward. Most of the levels are pretty short, ranging around 1 to 3 minutes. And the later levels introduce new blocks like purple cubes that launches you, and there are red and blue cubes, where if you switch while standing on one of them, it will stay in place. And if you want, you can go for the part-times, and doing this will earn you a star. And in the final level, it plays a little different than the others. You can't use the switch ability, it switches on its own. And there is one boss, and you just need to shoot his eye, and save the Hooligan sisters. Do that, and you beat the game, and your reward is Patty in her gym clothes. And you also unlock Big Shot. I do enjoy Mighty Switch Force. It was one of the few download-only games I had on the 3DS. And even though it's short, going for the part-times kinda makes up for it. And even though the controls are pretty basic, it's still fun. I only have a few issues with it. I'm kinda mixed on the Big Shot. With it, you're able to defeat the spike turtles and blow up boulder blocks, so levels where you need to use the bombs can be beaten much faster with the Big Shot. There's one where I beat the part-time with almost a whole minute to spare. If the Big Shot was in its own category, I'd probably be fine with it. And Patty's voice can be a bit irritating at times. Like every time you pick up health, she's gonna say,
Yummy!
Yummy! I mean, I think it's fine, but I wasn't expecting this type of voice coming from this character. I was expecting something more like I don't know, a Mandy impression.
The only good pumpkin is a smashed pumpkin.
Yeah, this is one of those games where I play it on mute when I'm around people. And I really don't want to do that because this game's soundtrack is awesome. I know it can be tiring for a reviewer to recommend a game's soundtrack, but considering how short the levels are in this game, it's not likely you'll get to hear the tracks all the way through. But I'll just put up my top 5 picks. You should check them out, they're really good. Alright, now we're gonna check out the next game, Mighty Switch Force Hyperdrive Edition, released in late 2012 on the Wii U. This was the last game I purchased before the Wii U eShop shut down. Also, I didn't realize that this came out before the second game. I could have sworn this released in 2015 or something. But anyways, it's the first game, but now it's in HD. The camera is also zoomed out a bit more so you can see more of the level, and it's not one of those cheap HD releases. It's still using the same engine, and it's using the frame-by-frame animation just like the original did. Take note. But that's not all. If you beat all the part-times for the original stages, you get to play as Patty in their gym clothes. And when you beat the game, you'll unlock hyper levels, which are just the original levels but harder. Some of them are pretty challenging, but they're really fun to do. Well, except for this one with the bomb. I'm trying to switch at the right time to get him across to the other side, but I keep exploding him because a block pushes his little toes, and I have to sit here for like a whole minute, and this level sucks. Easily the best game so far. And in my opinion, this is an HD release done right. And thankfully, the game didn't only release on Wii U. 3 years later, it later got released on Steam. Oh, that's why I was thinking it released in 2015. Okay, that adds up. And there are a few changes to this version as well. Like for the end screen, they changed Patty's appearance. Now she looks more cute, instead of giving you the bedroom eyes. And they also added a leaderboard, so you can see everyone else's time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the one that's beaten in 5 seconds are definitely cheated. Yeah, trust me, those Steam ports are gonna get weird down the line. The next game is Mighty Switch Force 2. This time, Patty is a firefighter, and you're equipped with a water hose to put out fire. And you have to save the Hooligan sisters in danger, or you can also get them soaked. And Patty's got some new voice lines.
Sure is toasty. Good stuff. Crispy. It's so hot.
Okay, that's enough, Patty. This one is a lot more focused on puzzles compared to the first one. There's also a secret ugly baby to rescue for every level.
You're safe!
Good job, Patty. Oh yeah, and saving all of them will unlock the gym clothes. They also introduced new blocks, like ones with pipes, and they also added the green cube. Oh dear God. Yeah, the stages that use these are pretty hard to beat the par time. Some of them I just said screw it and just use the Super Soaker. And I wouldn't blame you for doing this. But otherwise, the second game is pretty good. It's too bad this one didn't get the Hyperdrive treatment. And before I talk about Academy, I want to bring up Mighty Switch Force Hose It Down on mobile devices, because I know there would be at least one person that would be upset if I didn't bring it up. This one is just a puzzle game. You simply need to move around the blocks and put out all the fire to beat the stage. Admittedly, I didn't go too far with this one, because these types of games aren't really my thing. I got to this and thought yeah, I think I get the idea. Okay, now we can move on to the last game, Mighty Switch Force Academy. So I'm guessing this is a prequel to the first game. Everybody's doing their exams through the VR headset. Patty is up and oh no, things have gone haywire. Yeah, no, with that much explosion, I think Patty is dead. Yeah, this one plays a lot like the first game, but now the camera is zoomed out. This is also the first game to feature 4-player co-op. Now, I haven't experienced 4-player co-op myself, other than I did it for the achievements, but I would imagine having other people pressing the switch button would be very annoying. I have heard some people were disappointed with this entry, and I can see where they're coming from. Like, I did not enjoy the final boss, like, at all. You just can't predict where he's gonna come out. And there aren't any original tracks. They just reused the tracks from 1 and 2. And it's a shame, because I found an unused track from the second game that would have fit perfectly for the intro. And sure, there's a few cool things they've added, like switching gravity, and most levels don't have death floors, so you can like warp back to the top. And there's even a few levels where you need to collect more prisoners, but that's about it. But otherwise, I had a decent time with it, but definitely not my favorite. And after that, that was pretty much it. Until a few years later, we would get a collection, and this was released on all platforms. They also released a physical copy edition with some goodies. Let's see what we got here. We got the game itself, nice. Here's a Mighty Switch Force pin. We got CD soundtracks for 1 and 2. We got a poster of the main game, and on the other side is a wanted poster, very cool, and a floppy disk, one of the health pickups from the game. If you go to the backside and push this thing, it's actually a USB drive, and if you connect it to your computer, it holds up about 14.8 gigabytes. Neat. So the games that are included are Mighty Switch Force 1 and 2, Hyperdrive Edition, and Academy. No Hose It Down though. But otherwise a pretty good selection of games here. Though I've noticed some weird changes with Hyperdrive Edition and Academy. Like they didn't include the leaderboards off of the Steam version. And for Academy, I feel like nobody knows about this, but apparently the Steam version actually plays differently than the Academy and Collection. Like it feels like the game's code was rewritten from scratch. Jumping is a bit floaty, some enemies behave differently, and they also have leaderboards and the Collection doesn't. What the heck? I also forgot to mention that the Steam version of Hyperdrive Edition and Academy have trading cards and a point shop to get backgrounds and stuff, and Collection doesn't have any of those other than achievements. I mean, I don't really care about these, but it's weird that they don't have them. I mean, the Collection is fine for what it is, but it definitely feels like they could have done a little more with it. Or heck, maybe including the other Mighty games would have been cool. Or at the very least they can do is include some concept art for each of the games. This collection never got an update, by the way. And after this, the series kind of just went radio silent. It's kind of sad that this series never got a game that focuses a bit on story, or a game that isn't super short, because I feel like it deserves something like that. Like honestly, I think Way Forward needs a break from Shantae. Don't get me wrong, I like Shantae. I bought and played one of her games, but I've never actually got around to beating them. I don't know, it feels like Way Forward does whatever they feel like doing. Like what other games have they made recently? Yara's Rising? My dad likes Yara's Revenge, but I don't think he would be interested in this. So was the collection really the last time we saw Patty? Well, no. So I never played River City Girls 2, but apparently it has a lot of cameos and references in many of the shops it has. And Patty just so happens to appear as a shopkeeper, and she's still voiced by the same person too.
Hey there, cadet. Welcome to my shop. You're safe from high prices. Come on in. Stop in the name of the law. Just kidding.
Well anyways, you should check out Mighty Switch Force. The games aren't big, but if you're looking for something that's pick up and play, then give it a shot. Or at least give the soundtrack a chance. Alright, that's it for me. I'll see you all later.